it is, they think it's wonderful. And some of the things that I mentioned before, they don't get lost on the healthcare campus. They're going into a facility that they know, with people that they know, in a community that they know. And it's much more comfortable to them. And interestingly enough, if they do have to come on site, they've developed a relationship with that provider. They have seen that provider. They don't walk into a room with an unknown person that they've never seen before and are expected to kind of, have a relationship immediately with. They've already started to develop that relationship via technology. The providers have been very satisfied. We've visited with many of our referring providers, and they are thrilled because, one, often they're dealing with something that they don't see on a regular basis. So they're sending that to the specialty provider for a reason, and they are thrilled that they can access that service on a regular basis and a consistent basis and know that they're getting quality care. Our administrators are also very satisfied with this. We did a survey of our regional administrators, and we had a very interesting comment from one of them. That comment was simply, the baby boomers, here we are again, are the last generation that will expect face-to-face interaction with their provider. The next generations will expect maybe a component of that, but they will also expect that they will have the opportunity to interact with them in many other manners as well, not just that face-to-face. So we all better be ready in figuring out how to make that happen. And it also improves that, as we talked earlier, improves that quality and standard of care. So some of the other issues that I won't go into a great deal of because I want to leave some time for questions as well. But telehealth, we've all been hearing a lot about health information technology and how that's really going to be, a part of what we all do and are doing. But I want to pose to you that telehealth is HIT. HIT is not just the EMR or the EHR. Telehealth is also a component of that, and it is really a partner with that. Our telehealth program wouldn't function nearly as well if we didn't have the opportunity to have that EMR as part of that whole system. And of course, as we talk about the telehealth and the stimulus package, we have heard over and over again that telehealth and telemedicine was mentioned specifically in various components of that stimulus plan. So we better be ready to move forward, as they say, shovel ready with projects to get out the door. Because if we don't move now, we may lose some of our opportunity. And I think that we really want to take advantage of these dollars. I won't go into whether or not my 8-year-old will be paying for this and his sons will be paying for this for years, but because the money is here, the money is out the door, and we might as well, and we better be ready to get, quote, our fair share, because it's critical and it will help us do what we need to be doing in healthcare. So we talked a little bit. This quote, I think, is really it's an older quote. But the general concept of healthcare quality does not change from urban to rural settings. The focus remains on providing the right service at the right time in the right way to achieve the optimal outcome. And that's obviously a pretty noble goal. It certainly is the expectation to receive quality healthcare at our local rural healthcare facilities. The reality is, do we receive quality care there? Absolutely. But there's often a disparity in the services available. And so I pose to you really that telehealth can help us address some of those disparities. The opportunity to extend those specialty care services into the more rural communities. And I don't want to just emphasize the rural, because urban has some of the same issues that the rural sites do. There are urban areas that have scarce healthcare services as well, and telehealth can provide opportunities there as well. So I really think, I wanted to kind of give you the opportunity today to really kind of think through that, and that telehealth is really an opportunity that is here, and that we all need to be looking at and considering, and that really there is a bright spot for us all. and that telehealth can really help us to address those. I do have a couple of questions that I want to kind of wrap up with here, and so I'm going to, Chris is ready for us. So here's our first question. Where do you believe patients currently access telehealth services? So in our current mode.
And this is another one of those slightly different questions where you get to choose up to 2 this time, and once you've chosen your 2, you press the enter button, which is on the upper left-hand side of your keypad. And it looks like a number of you are finding your way to answer. It's a pretty adept crowd with technology. Sometimes it takes a while to get this last type of question.
See, these guys are quick learners.
Yeah. All right, so we'll close this in 3, 2, and 1. And there you are.
And I think you're right. I think that's where most people are accessing their services today. What I would like for you to consider next is, where do you think they will receive their services in the future? Again, we have the opportunity to choose 2. I feel like it should be do 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 do.
I think we actually could do that. All right, let's close this one in 3, 2, and 1. And there's the answer.
And
Yeah.
I think you're right there as well. I think we will see a great increase in home health care, accessing it from not only home health care, but also accessing it from your home, whether it's via an email to your physician or the webcam on your PC. You know, it's like, Dr. Smith, my son's got this thing on his cheek. What do you think? Do I need to come in? And I think that's what we'll start to see a lot more of. And obviously the BlackBerries and the cell phones, I mean, I think that's going to be, we better get ready, because I think that's going to be an explosion here fairly soon. So really now is our window of opportunity. And I think that we need to be ready. And now is the time to be looking at this and figuring out how your organization is going to address this and work this into what it is that you do on a daily basis. I do want to kind of give you a little bit information on your table in front of you. There's some kind of an information sheet on the Great Plains Telehealth Resource and Assistance Center. We have a great deal of online resources at our webpage there. We are tasked, the resource centers, there's about 6 of us, well, there are 6 of us around the nation. One's a national focused, and then the other 5 are regionally focused. And we are specifically tasked to help you all with getting telehealth up and running. That is, we are partially federally funded, and that is our charge. So if you have any questions about your organization, or how we might do this in our facility, or how in the world do we even get started? What do we do? What's our first step? Give us a call, and you'll see there's a bookmark there that lists, highlights all 6 of the resource centers. So even if there's one not in your region, or you aren't in a region, we are all here to help all all states. So while we, like for example, the Great Plains is a 5-state specific region of North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, and Nebraska. Colorado is so darn close. You're more than welcome to give us a call. And actually, we've received calls from really all over the nation. So it is not, we can answer your question even if you aren't in those 5 states. And we're also available for consultations to help you get up and going. So please make sure that if we don't have the answer, we'll find it for you. That is why we're here. So please feel free to give us a call. Now is our time. Telehealth is here and ready, and we're just perched, ready to grow this, and we can't afford to wait.